I think we're going to go one of two directions here. And in fact, I think this is pretty obvious. In years, we'll either have a completely government-run system, which is what at least half of the political world has wanted for some time, or we'll have a market-driven system, which is a little different than anybody has seen so far. But what I see in a market-driven system is that when you go to the doctor, the default position is that you are paying for the services yourself. And you're paying for it because you have the money that you saved when you, instead of getting a comprehensive insurance policy, you got one with very high deductibles, and you were able to pocket the premium difference. Now, what's happened in reality is that we've run into high deductibles in the last few years, but there has been no corresponding premium savings that has gone to the patients. But the point is that for the first, I'm going to say $4,000 or $5,000 of expenses you have every year, you're paying them in the sense that if you don't pay the doctor that money, then you get to keep it and keep it in your account and use it for other things. So when you go to the doctor and he says, well, we need to get an x-ray, or we need to do this, we need to do that, you're going to want a discussion about if that's really necessary, if there are less expensive ways of doing it. You're not going to just say, well, let's do that. In fact, let's do some more because it doesn't matter, I've got insurance. And then bringing that market discipline to medical care, which, by the way, many people are just fundamentally uncomfortable with, but that is the way that we can introduce cost savings and cut out unnecessary and duplicative care, is by making patients responsible for most of the medical care that they consume. Now, you have to have insurance because, a catastrophic case, you're in a big accident, you get cancer or something like that, you have to be able to deal with that, and very few people can out of their pockets. So that's what you have insurance for. But you don't have insurance to buy your routine care. Just the things that happen to everybody. You get sick, you go to the doctor, run some tests, gives you medicine. Buying insurance for that is like buying insurance for oil changes and lube jobs on your car. I mean, why would you buy insurance for something that you're going to need? You buy insurance for things that you probably won't need, but would be catastrophic if you did. And so that's my vision, and that's what I think other people are trying to say. We need to go, but unfortunately, Obamacare has sort of muddied the waters here, because, like I say, now people are struggling with these $5,000 deductibles, but they don't have the means to handle it. They just have the deductibles, but not the accounts that the deductibles should be paid from. But I don't see any progress coming from what looks like it's going to be a divided Congress and a Democratic president. And I'm not too much of a conspiracy theorist, but I swear nobody minded when Obama started going down. Nobody, in terms of the people that created it and the people that were responsible for it, almost seemed like that was okay with them if it failed. And I honestly think that the program for a long time now has been working through it with the American people, showing them that none of these other things fail, and we might as well just go to a government-run system and put up with all that, but have one more thing in our lives that government completely runs and that we're beholden to government for. For a politician of the left, and I'm just going to be candid here, and this is why I'm not so popular in some circles, I guess, but the government dependence, which is something that I, in principle, resist. I just don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like feeling like I depend on other people for things that I could provide for myself. But I think most Americans feel that way to a large extent. But for a politician, the more people that are in programs and are dependent on government, the better it is for them, because there's no more reliable a voter than somebody who's in a program that you're funding. They're gonna vote for you every time if you're the one that's putting bread on their table and and sending them a check and food stamps and so on and so forth. I mean, that's just the way it works. And so they're not looking to reform or improve these programs at all. That's sort of that's how they roll. That's what keeps things going. And that's the big ultimate battle out there is between people who want, and for whatever reason, and they may be ideologically convinced, I don't know, but I think for a lot of people it's just a matter of power and influence and being able to keep the positions that they have. And but anyway, the forces of big government versus the forces of self-determination and living independently and as free as possible, consistent with an ordered society.